Ladies and gentlemen, today I invite you to look up at the night sky, to gaze upon the silent guardian that has watched over our planet for billions of years. I speak of the moon, our constant companion, our celestial neighbor, whose surface holds secrets of time, gravity, and the cosmos itself. The moon is not merely a distant rock floating in space. It is a scientific archive, a witness to the history of our solar system. Its craters, its valleys, its shadowed regions are pages of a cosmic story that we are only beginning to read. For centuries, humanity has looked upon it with curiosity and wonder. Philosophers, astronomers, and dreamers have studied its movements, calculated its influence on tides, and theorized about its origin. And then, finally, in the 20th century, humans took the boldest step, sending spacecraft, and eventually astronauts, to set foot upon its dusty plains. In 1969, the world held its breath as the Apollo 11 mission succeeded in landing Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin on the lunar surface. For the first time, human beings walked upon the moon, leaving footprints that would endure for millions of years. Rocks and soil samples were collected, experiments were conducted, and the moon shared a fragment of its story with humanity. The following missions, Apollo 12 through Apollo 17, expanded our understanding, giving us insight into lunar geology, the composition of its soil, the characteristics of its craters, and even the presence of water molecules in shadowed craters. Scientists since then have analyzed these samples meticulously. They discovered that the moon formed approximately 4.5 billion years ago, likely as a result of a colossal collision between Earth and a Mars-sized object. Its lack of atmosphere, its low gravity, and the extremity of its temperatures make it both fragile and fascinating. Lunar research has revealed insights into planetary formation, the history of meteoric impacts, and even the evolution of Earth itself. Satellites orbiting the moon have mapped its surface in detail, locating promising sites for future exploration and even potential resources that might one day sustain human activity beyond Earth. Yet, despite all this knowledge, despite our proven capability to reach the moon over 50 years ago, humans have not returned. Why? The answer is not simple. The challenges of lunar exploration are immense. First, there is the matter of cost. The Apollo program required billions of dollars, and in today's economic and political climate, funding a manned lunar mission is no small feat. Nations must weigh priorities, balancing space exploration against pressing concerns on Earth itself. Second, there are technical challenges. The moon may be close in cosmic terms, but the hazards are real. Radiation, extreme temperature variations, micrometeorites, and the difficulty of safely landing and returning human beings. Furthermore, political and strategic considerations have played a role. During the Apollo era, the moon was a theater of human ambition in the midst of the Cold War. Once the initial race was won, interest waned, priorities shifted, and the infrastructure for regular lunar travel was dismantled. The International Space Station and robotic missions took precedence, yielding valuable knowledge at a fraction of the risk and cost associated with manned lunar missions. In essence, humanity paused, choosing caution and careful planning over impulsive repetition. However, this pause does not signify failure or retreat. On the contrary, it allows us to prepare, to innovate, and to learn from past missions. Robotic probes, satellites, and unmanned missions continue to study the moon in extraordinary detail. Lunar orbiters have mapped potential landing sites, discovered ice deposits in permanently shadowed craters, and analyzed surface composition to understand its utility for future human habitation. These studies reveal that the moon is not merely a static rock, but a dynamic environment with the potential to serve as humanity's first permanent outpost beyond Earth. The motivational lesson from this is profound. The moon represents both a goal and a mirror. It shows us what humans can achieve when imagination, science, and courage combine. It also reminds us of our limitations, that space exploration demands patience, collaboration, and technological mastery. The delay in returning to the moon is not a sign of failure, but of prudence, an acknowledgement that the obstacles are real and must be carefully navigated to ensure the safety and sustainability of human life. As we contemplate our next steps, nations and private companies alike are planning for the return. The Artemis program, led by NASA, aims to land astronauts on the lunar South Pole within this decade. Private enterprises envision sustainable lunar habitats, research laboratories, and even resource extraction that could support further exploration to Mars and beyond. These endeavors reflect the enduring fascination that the moon holds for humanity, a fascination born not merely of curiosity, but of the deep, intrinsic drive to explore and understand our place in the universe. To gaze upon the moon is to witness patience, endurance, and the beauty of persistence. It shines at night, a constant in a world of change, silently narrating the story of time, gravity, and life itself. It encourages us to push boundaries, to question, to experiment, and to dream beyond what seems possible. Every crater, every shadow, every ray of reflected sunlight is a lesson in history, physics, and cosmic wonder. The moon calls upon us not just to return, but to do so with purpose. It urges the next generation of scientists, engineers, and explorers to equip themselves with knowledge, to innovate with care, and to embrace the risks inherent in discovery. For the moon is not an obstacle, it is a mentor, guiding us toward mastery of space, understanding of the cosmos, and deeper appreciation of our fragile, beautiful home planet. So, as we look to the night sky tonight, let us remember the lessons of the moon. That exploration is never easy, that courage must be coupled with preparation, and that the pursuit of knowledge is an enduring journey. Humanity will return, not because it is simple or easy, but because it is essential to our understanding, to our growth, and to the fulfillment of our greatest ambitions. In the silence of its craters and the glint of its regolith, the moon waits. It waits for our return, for our curiosity to meet its mysteries once again, and for us to realize that the journey of exploration is as much about human potential as it is about the celestial body we seek to reach. Ladies and gentlemen, the moon teaches us that every step into the unknown is a step toward wisdom. Every mission is a testament to courage, and every observation is a story of perseverance. Let us honor this celestial guide by preparing for our return, by advancing science, and by never ceasing to dream. Thank you.